Well, hey fans, welcome back to another movie review, and today we're talking about Avatar Fire and Ash. So, Avatar Fire and Ash is an epic sci-fi fantasy film directed by James Cameron, starring Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldaña, CCH Pounder, Stephen Lang, Sigourney Weaver, and many other names. And this one picks up right after Avatar The Way of Water, and of course you have Jake Sully and his family. They are working to protect themselves from Quaritch and all the people who work for the corporation. Now, I think the big difference between Avatar Fire and Ash and Avatar The Way of Water in the first Avatar film, like I said, is the close span of time between the films. Whereas in from Avatar to Avatar Way of Water, it was like 15 years and like 20 in real life. I can't remember exactly what the time frame was, but the leap in technology from Avatar to Avatar 2 was so great. It was such a long time. The wait in between it was so grand that of course that movie would make $2 billion again, and it looked great and it looked wonderful. Now, between Avatar The Way of Water and Avatar Fire of Ash, the leap of technology is not that great, and neither is the time, but it still looks fantastic. The 3D used in this movie is amazing. I think that James Cameron has pretty much perfected that technology almost. We saw it in like a Dolby 3D cinema, and just like when you're there, it's almost like you're not even watching movies. Like you're looking through a window into Pandora. And I was just amazed at just how beautiful it all looked. And I can't wait to see it in IMAX to see how much better it looks on that ginormous screen. And I think the idea of like people getting sad when they can't see Pandora again is a real thing when you just look at how beautiful and vibrant this movie is. Now, in terms of like the story, I say this is the weakest story of the trilogy. Essentially, it's like he cut the second movie in half and made this movie. So it's already made all the money it needs to make with the 2 point whatever billion, 2.3 that Avatar: The Way of Water makes. But I did enjoy, not having to rewatch the last movie because it picked right up. Like I was pretty much refreshing my memory as to what was going on, but it did hit a lot of the same beats as The Way of Water. And even when you get to the end, like I was talking to some of my critic friends, like, oh, are we doing this whole water battle thing again? And you think you are, but then it goes to this whole another level of some type of like gravity chamber or gravity tornado that I won't spoil too much about, but I thought that was a pretty neat, interesting thing. The character who I feel like had the most development in this film is Quaritch. Now, we all know this is a clone of the original Quaritch. He's in an Avatar body, and he is now starting to go through the same journey that Jake went through in the first film in terms of, meeting an Avatar that you kind of get along with, that you might like or love, and kind of realizing that Pandora is more than just a place to mine minerals and other, scientifically amazing things. So I really enjoyed his character arc throughout this film, and I can't wait to see where he goes if they continue making more of these films. Varang, who is one of the avatars from the Ash tribe, I really enjoyed her character. She was the best character in that tribe because the rest of her people really seem like NPCs. They all look alike, and you don't really, get to know them personally. But I just thought the whole vibe that she gave off was pretty amazing, and Oona Chaplin, who is the actress who brings her to life, I think did a fantastic job. Now, there's two crazy things about the Ash tribe that this movie does present. One, they have kamikaze pilots, which was wild to see on screen, and two, they have space cocaine. And when you see that scene, you will understand what I'm talking about. Great. And of course, Zoe Saldaña and Sam Worthington, they're still good as Jake, Sully, and Neytiri. I really enjoy their characters. I really enjoy their arc. There is an argument that the two of them have in this film that is very profound, very great, very realistic, that could happen in a marriage of this nature, where Neytiri has to overcome some inner hatred that she has after the death of her eldest son, and even like some inner hatred that she still has towards Jake and towards humans in general, even though we have been led to believe that her views on certain humans have changed. And that was great. And speaking of certain humans, you got Spider. I enjoy this character and I enjoy his arc. I enjoy everything about him except for the actor and his acting. I don't think he is being directed well at all. He's very annoying in the way he reads lines. It's just not my favorite. But what happens to him? And it happens in the trailer where you see that he can now breathe the air of Pandora. He has one of the little, I forget what the tentacle thing that allows them to, like attach to animals and trees. He has all that now. and what that presents for like humanity on Pandora and even back on Earth, I think is very interesting. And how they explain it scientifically is great, and we will see where that goes moving forward. And his love interest, Kiri, I think has a bigger role in this film than she did in the last film, and I really did enjoy her character because she's basically, you know, Navi Jesus at this point. We actually find out how she came to be. You know, we were confused whether, you know, she actually had a father or not, or she was just like some kind of immaculate birth. We actually find out why she exists and what she is there for and what other abilities that she has. And her connection with Awa, that is great. And speaking of Awa, there is a scene where we actually see Awa in this movie. I'm just be blunt. We see Awa, and it is like, to describe it is almost like horrific and grand at the same time. And I say that because of Awa's facial expression. Awa basically looks like a giant Navi, but that scene reminds me almost 2001: A Space Odyssey. And again, when you see it, you'll understand what I mean, because it was kind of like, wow, is she angry? So that was my thoughts on that. But the score is pretty good. The cinematography is great. Again, like just being on Pandora, being in this world, seeing these characters feels great. The movie's over 3 hours long, and I did not feel it one bit. I just enjoyed being there. It was like a warm blanket, just being on Pandora and watching what goes down. So in terms of a score, I would give Avatar Fire and Ash a decent 7 out of 10. It's great, and I want to see this movie succeed. I don't think it's going to make $2 billion. I really think it's probably going to tap out between 1.7 and 1.9, but I do want to see more Avatar movies. Even though I feel like this is the weakest of the trilogy so far, I want to see more. I want to see more characters. I want to see more tribes. There's a Wind Trader tribe in this movie that we barely get to spend time with, and I would have loved to have spent more time with them. I think it should have been like more about the Ash tribe and the Wind Traders and how they, because they seem to be at war with each other in this film. So if we got more of that, and if it was called like Avatar Fire and Air, probably would have made more sense. But yeah, if you like Pandora, if you like Avatar, if you love these movies, please go check it out in 3D and IMAX and whatever you can, because I want more Avatar movies and you should want them too. I'd like to thank you guys again for joining me for this movie review. Remember, you can find the full review on YouTube and the website, flipfrogllc.com/flixfrog. Remember, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. And please, pretty please, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.